Spiritual superstars. Hey, hey, hey. How have you been? I think it is past time to do some readings. Woo. I'm getting ready to retwist my hair, do my daughter's hair for school. And I felt like, you know what? We've been so busy. Life is happening. I need to come back and be there for my spiritual superstars the best I can. So I appreciate you so much. And anybody that has any questions today, just feel free and ask away. And I will do my very best to answer the questions that you ask me, for sure. Welcome to our new spiritual superstars. Hey, Deanna. What makes you think you're under spiritual attack? Come on in the room and type in your pound or hashtag 1111, the opening of the spirit realm, so you can come in covered. Hey, thank you so much. That Miss Pam. Blessings to you, beautiful. I miss you. Thank you so much. All right, so come on in. Divine Source, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. When you're under attack, Deanna says, I think it's the guys I'm dealing with. Okay. You think it's the guys you're dealing with, so you're dealing with, are you dating more than one man? Are you sexually involved with more than one man? Are your intentions focused on more than one man? And you know, it doesn't have to be multiple. It could be one, you know? That definitely happens because our energy is affected by who we sleep with, who we have sex with. But it's also affected by who we keep as company, you know? And one of those things that you definitely want to do, everybody, is stop letting people drop stuff off at your house and you hold it because you're harboring that energy and you're harboring the intentions that they had in order to begin with. Some people want to keep you available. So you might be seeing their toothbrush, their sneakers, little knickknacks they can use, clothes, and you think it's, oh my gosh, okay, you know, he or she is leaving stuff here because they're focused on being together. When really their energy is could be keeping the one that Spirit has intended for you away from you, and could be keeping you dependent upon them. So you've got to really look at the intentions that are connected to the objects people leave in your home. This goes way back, way, way back, way back. So the guise or the deception centuries ago was to bring a gift to a home, and that gift carried negative energy. It carried the curse. And once that person or family welcomes that gift into the home, that welcomes the energy within that package. And so you've got to be really aware of how deep that goes. Okay? But hey, 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 thank you for coming in and typing in your pound. Type in your pound now. Got to type in your hashtag 1111. We want that hashtag 1111. Okay? because we want people to know when they see 111, we want you to obtain the blessing in that moment. And it is not a time to make a wish. It's a time to receive, because you've already wished and you've already prayed. Now it's time for you to be hands open wide and receive that blessing. So the confirmation, the next step, the action. But yeah, so what makes you think, Deanna, that you are under attack? I talked to a few men, but it's two specifically. So there's only so much that you can say on a public forum, and I understand that. It's really only so much you can that my clients are going to even say to me. And readers out there, psychics, mediums, channels, intuits, spirit guides, shamans, understand that sometimes you don't have to pry. I'm of the belief of that, because when you practice spirituality, when you practice spiritual guidance and you're giving a service, people are coming to you because they trust you, right? Even if it's a little inkling of belief or trust, they still trusted you. But you don't have to put yourself in danger by going above and beyond that moment to help them. Honor their energy. So ebb and flow. The same way you will with any other part of life. Ebb and flow. So, and thank you, Deanna, for letting me use your situation as kind of a teaching moment. So, she said she is dealing. She's dealing with two men, specifically. Okay? So, you got to look at that. And you've got to feel what you feel when you read it, or when you hear your client say whatever they're saying, okay? And you've got to say what Spirit tells you to say when Spirit says say it. So you might receive messages even before your client says something, even before they even approach you as a client. But that doesn't necessarily mean that every message you receive needs to be conveyed. Does that make sense? Okay. So I'm going to tell you what Spirit just told me, Deanna. She knows exactly what to do. I've been telling her for years. She knows what to do. She doesn't want to do it. And she stopped listening to me. She stopped hearing me. So that is what concerns me, is you broke off from a path that you were co-creating with Spirit, God. That is what I get from that. And so it's tough when you're being told something in your spiritual awakening, right? And that's the moment that Divine Source says, here's your unlimited possibility. Here's the untapped potential. Go after it. Obtain it. And it presents, it's tough. It's tough to let go of people. It's tough to move forward. It's tough to let go of your own behavior. It's really difficult. You've got a lot of self-development. Sometimes you're being told to release and detach from family, from your spouse. Sometimes you've been entertaining divorce and you know that's what needs to happen. And then you start getting hit by God. It starts really laying it in your awakening, and you can't deny it anymore. But it doesn't make it that much easier to go in the direction that God's telling you to go in. You've got to say, you know what, Lord? This is what I would suggest when you're experiencing that and you're scared to move. You're scared to move forward. Or you really are still saying, I'm confused. I really don't know which way to go, when you really do. Ask God not to remove them from you, but ask God to empower you. Ask the Holy Spirit to speak and move through you. Okay? Because in that way, you're like, oh, arms open wide. You can just receive. And what happens is when you ask God to move through you or to speak through you, what happens is the clouds open up. Things start happening where the other people or the other person starts showing up in a way that really shows you check mark against your standard, check mark against your belief, check mark against your values, check mark against what you didn't know was a requirement in relationship. You know what I mean? Me too. It's hard. I stayed in a relationship way longer than I should have. You know, I did. It was very hard. Been cheated on, lied to. Here come my kids, so I'm not gonna say anything else about that. But you know, I'm doing a live, okay? All right. So yeah, it happens. Okay, so yeah, always, forgive yourself through the process. Let's see. Who is that? Torsha. Hey, and welcome everybody. Thank you so much for coming in. Michaela. Thank you so much, everybody. Welcome. Hey, Maria. Well-being. Torsha. Omar or Oma. Welcome. Torsha says, I would love to move in a few years. Would it be a good choice? I'm hearing, let me tell you what I saw. I didn't hear it. What I saw was no, no, smaller, no was the smallest. Dot, 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 yes, a blaring yes with explanation points. And what else I saw was Billy Goat Gruff, the little childhood story, Billy Goat Gruff. Look that up. And then thank God. And then go straight into reflection. And don't reflect for more than like 5 minutes. After reflection, sit with it and then ask for your spiritual guidance. Okay? You know the story? Okay, good. Because I sure don't remember. I remember I can see it, but I can't hear it right now. I think because I'm in giving readings mode, and I would be going crazy if I heard all the stuff that's going on around me and all the energy coming at me. So readers, remember that, everything that you hear when you're in a reading may not be directed at your client, and it may not be, something that needs to be said even. So, all right. Hey, thank you so much. Um, let's see. Is it safe to fly overseas? I feel it is a yes, but not sure as things are with the world. I feel like that's not the question that you want to ask. I don't feel like that's the question. I feel like that it's a lot more complicated than that. Why do you want to go overseas? And who are you bringing with you? Day. Thank you. Hey. I appreciate that so much. You're so welcome, Torsha. Absolutely. You all, before I forget, our next workshop is going to be amazing. Let me tell you, amazing. I don't know why we haven't done it up to this point. I guess this is the divinely timed, divinely ordained moment, you know? So, the workshop is on spiritual attack. It is the fight for your life. It is the fight of your life, but it's definitely the fight for your life. So when you're in spiritual attack or spiritual warfare, demons are trying to take you, period, point blank. There's no other way to put it than that. There's no reason to sugarcoat spiritual attack. You have to know certain things. And one of those things is if you have children, your children are the first target. So you have to be extremely careful when you're under attack or when your kids are under attack. And there's certain things that you're going to see, feel, experience, and none of it is anything that you can hide away from. And so we are going to, and even if you don't have children, we're going to go through that in this workshop. The workshop is really geared towards anyone that is 27 to 31 years of age and 54 to 61 years of age and anywhere 30 years later if you'd like to attend, for sure. The reason why, but it's for anybody, but I'm specifically speaking to those people that are in those age brackets and going into them and want to be prepared to go through that tough period of time successfully and happily. You need to be aligned with your blessings. Those are Saturn return moments, and that is when you're catapulted into the school of hard knocks. And so you're going to be tested relentlessly. And it's super important that you are aware of what's on the other side while you're experiencing the test and difficulties. So we're going to do that. It's the early bird special. Get on over to spiritualguidanceacademy.com. Check it out. So you are taking your husband to see family. I just don't feel like, what is there, what is it that is about that doesn't feel so right? What is it about it? Does he want to go? What is it? Is the family, are they welcoming of him? What is it? There's something else there that I just feel like, are they welcoming him with open arms? Did they welcome him with open arms? So when you are in your spiritual awakening, the thing that's coming up right now is isolation. Be okay with the silence. you know, being still, listening. Because in those moments, like you can hear the ice cream truck, maybe you can. In between that, you'll hear messages. So if there's a focal point that is happening that you're kind of zeroing in on, it could be the radio, it could be, you could have your earbuds in, it could be a video, somebody could be talking, whatever it is, almost ever so slightly, you will hear a message come through. And it might be so slight that you ignore it. Those are the messages you really want to pay attention to. Spirit, the Holy Spirit, doesn't always talk to us in such blaring, over the top ways, like Moses parting the Red Sea. You won't find it like that all the time. But you will definitely hear in the silence, and it can really be spooky. It still freaks me out when I do certain practices, okay? Rituals, when I do certain practices for specific reasons, and when I work with specific angels or energies that I know are part of my spiritual team under God, I still get, my human still freaks out a little bit, you know? When I know something's going on and an energy is there and I feel that spiritually guided spiritual communication, which are the goosebumps, the tingling, the crawling, the itching, the burning sensations all over my skin, the flush of hot cold, that electric, magnetic feeling, the metaphysical reaction, all of it. Sometimes it freaks my human right out because it depends on what that energy is all about. So don't think you're alone with that. Oh, good, 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 good. They love you and want you to attend a wedding. I don't know why I'm just feeling, Marie, I would pray about it. I would just ask. Sometimes you just can't answer. And I just don't, I'm not even going to pray about it. I think that you need to ask God. I really do. There's just something there that I don't feel not safe. It's not a matter of safety. But yeah, you're welcome. It's some things I'm not privy to. I think that that's really important for all of you spiritual superstars to know, because when you pay for a reading or when you're giving a reading, you're still part human. And the whole point of serving as a messenger is to convey spiritual guidance to me, in my opinion. But some things are just straight up none of my business. And a spirit requires us to go through certain things because it's a part of our journey. Sometimes it's easier to ask someone else for that answer, but when I can't answer it, when it's something that I'm being told, don't answer it, don't pry, there's something else that you can feel, but don't go any further than that because it's not your energy, you don't need to be a part of it, then I need to say, okay, it's none of my business. And some of the things that have come back after I've said that to some of my clients, I've never gotten no one has ever had a negative response from that. And when people have come back and said, remember when you said you couldn't tell me? I knew exactly why. They've said that straight up. Or they'll, I didn't want to say it then, but I knew why, and I know, and this is why. And they'll tell me, you know, and then they'll apologize because they knew that they were either not being forthright and caused me harm, and or we struggle. I'm struggling very early on. I used to go for it. I would be struggling with it, and they would be so apologetic. Never not had someone come back and say, I am so sorry. I know that I put you through that, and I am so sorry, So just keep that in mind too, to my readers, my spirit guides, my mediums, intuits, empaths out there, anybody that is in the business. Who is saying, I feel very lonely, though spiritually aligned and guided. I'm okay being alone and focusing on my own growth. Good job, good job. But it's hard, never attracting non-toxic people. All right, so now you're alone and you're aligning. You can't rush the process. And I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. And who are you, Seti? Seti, the red cap. Seti. You gotta go through the process. And I'm so thankful that you shared that with me. So the first step is awareness. What are you aware of? What is Spirit telling you as to why you're being isolated? Why are you being set apart? In this third dimension, we hear you just stand out in the crowd. You're not like all the rest. You see that kid right there? He's going places. You see her? Y'all better keep them away from her. She's got a bright future. You hear that? We recognize certain things in people. Energy recognizes energy. So be aware that though you're being asked to be isolated, it sure is for a whole lot more than you've got right now. And you're knowing that it's going to keep you aware of positive energy as it enters your life. Focus on where you're going so that you can continue to detach from what Spirit's asking you to leave in the past. It's hard. It's hard. Especially when it's people you love. Especially when it's a location. And especially when you've got people depending on you. That energy from the past that used to know you from your birth name, more comfortable with who you were. It doesn't go down easy. It doesn't go down without a fight. That energy wants you to go back to your past, to your old self. But Spirit has alerted you to your awakening. And you are awakening through a theme. So that theme is, first step, awareness. What is the theme? What's showing up synchronistically in your life over and over again? And then the second step is detachment. And if you haven't gotten my book, get the book. 7 Steps to Master Any Spiritual Awakening. Get it? Give them a copy of it so you don't have to explain, because I explain for you in that book, and you just hand them a copy. Here, I can't explain what's going through me right now, what I'm experiencing, but she can, and she will. So just read this book for me, because I know you love me, and I know you want to help me. But if you can't convey what's happening, don't. And rarely can you. You know? You do, LG. Awesome. Norma. Hey, honey. It's always good to see you, too. Thank you so much. I love you. I love all y'all so much. You're so welcome, Sati. I keep getting told I'm here to alchemize myself, led to gold. And I often struggle because I'm outside the norm. At every turn, I will buy your book. Be careful. I don't think you were here, and I know you're very close to what you've been told. I think you need to release the reins. I want you to just pray about that. Releasing the control of the process. Becoming more fluid in your process. And remember, you all, it is your process. You know, it takes time. You've been taught some things that took some years for you to really practice. And so a lot of it, you know, you're telling your human, you know, that there's another way. And your human is naturally going to say, does that mean I'm wrong? Does that mean that what I've been doing is not right? Thank you, Seti. Oh, thank you. Seti just blessed us with 199. Thank you so much. Good vibes. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And blessings to you. So, yeah, always know that process takes some time. See Loving right on the screen. Take a deep breath in. Ready? Deep, deep, deep. Deep as you can. You gotta practice this. Let in all that prana, slowly but surely. And then exhale. All the way, letting your shoulders release. All of it. Repeat after me. Divine Source, please show me my spiritual guidance the way that I can receive it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Whatever messages you receive, look at 1111 on the screen again. Whatever messages you receive, just listen. You'll receive it just as if you were hearing it from a person that you talk to. You'll know that it wasn't you because it's nothing that you've said before to yourself. Be reminded that you may not feel like you've heard anything in that moment. You may have to get up, boom, that message comes right to you because it's opened up from you, by you. So your human might be really prepared to do what you need your human to do. And you are, okay, Nicole said the opening of the spirit realm is 11:11. I need to listen. So listen. And your human's like, I'm listening. But your human's job is not to listen. Your human is just to be there. That's your human's job, is to just be still, stand down. Stand down. Your human doesn't need to do anything at all. Your human doesn't need to prepare to pray, to think of a wish, nothing. Let's try it again. 11:11 is back on the screen. Take a deep breath in. Let it out. And ask for your spiritual guidance the way that you can receive it. You may have an all-out conversation, which is what I'm having. So it may be a specific spirit guide. It may be a specific messenger of God. It might be an angel that you work with. It might be your child who's in heaven, your parents in heaven, your grandparents. It could be your ancestors that you work with. It could be any energy that you're used to working with, that you've been, it could be Christ Jesus, it could be Muhammad, Zoroaster, it could be, you name it, Buddha, Baha'u'llah, Abdu'l-Baha. And you will hear. Okay, I hope that that makes sense. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your beautiful donation. I really appreciate it so much. LG says, I find that I have a lot of time on my own. What can I do to fill this space in a positive way? Oh my gosh. Thank you for asking that question. Honey, let me tell you. Do more than meditate. Do more than meditate. Do something that scares you. Okay? I try to do that every day. Do one thing that scares me. Why? Because you're on this earth for such a short time. And you are seeing just what you're capable of when you do something that scares you. And you realize it wasn't so bad. And you teach your human that. So if I could tell you what I would suggest is to do something that scares you. And it might be creating a new hobby. It could be going for a walk when you really don't feel like leaving the house. It could be to start jogging on your walk when you've never jogged before and you're afraid of what people are going to say. I used to be like that. You know, I'm still concerned about what people say. You know, I've gotten less concerned. When you're in the silence, you hear from the divine source for sure. Talk to your human. If it makes you feel more comfortable, spiritual superstars, when you're talking to your human, put your earbuds in. So people think that you're talking to someone on the phone. Just put your phone on silent, you know. But that right there is a conversation that you should often have, because your human's going to tell you what she or he is afraid of. And when you're listening to your human, your spiritual journey becomes so much easier. You often hear me say, become best friends with your human. That's a part of that process. So yes, pray. Yes, meditate. But yes, do something that scares you. Take up a new hobby. Learn what your likes are now in this stage of your life, so that when you're not so isolated, you get to share that with someone else. You know, it's a beautiful thing to be isolated. Your angels come to you. They're so precious. They're so giving. They're so loving. And they're so gentle. They may knock you over the head in some ways to get your attention, which means it's a slap that you don't want to feel in this third dimension. But that's how they were able to get your attention, you know, and everyone's different. So, yep, do something that scares you and surprise yourself. Celebrate that. Pat yourself on the back. Yes, ma'am, Norma. You become your own best friend. You've got to. You've got to become best friends with your human again when you're in an awakening, because you're going to ask your human to do so much. And your human's thing is not spirituality. So, learn what your human loves at this point in your life, and then practice that thing. Give your human that joy, that healthy habit, and then you get to share it when you're not so alone. I hope that helps. Is it normal to see things going in and out of the wall? I must ask you this. I don't know what's going on. I'm seeing things. Girl, it's so normal. What kinds of things are you seeing? Girl, I'm so happy you're asking me that. What are you seeing? You know, my son, he's 11. He asked me the other day, is it normal to see geometric shapes on the wall? It absolutely is. And that's Archangel Metatron. I love Archangel Metatron. He's a watcher and watches over us and helps us put the puzzle pieces together. And so, yes, when you're seeing the strategies that are in alignment with the plan you're co-creating with Spirit, which hopefully is the life you're living, then you're sensitive to seeing all of that. When things start changing and you're waking up to another layer of your unlimited potential. You're seeing it. My son, his telepathic ability is through the roof, and his awareness of being able to sit in the silence is it's impressive. So yes, when you are seeing things, and you can see people, you can see all kinds of things. So absolutely, I have seen other beings. So when you hear the ringing in your ears, if you take a moment and practice, I work with Archangel Razel, the spiritual alchemist, in many ways, but that's one of those ways, is the ringing of the ears and being able to see in a lucid dream and go right into it. The first time that I saw energies as an adult, it was very recent. It was within the last, maybe the last 4 or 5 years, that I was able to see what the ringing was attached to at the moment and see all the energies that were around. It was incredible. And what I saw were all shapes, all forms, all beings in their lucid, translucent form. And my eyelids were closed. My spiritual sight was wide alert, open, like open, 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 open. I can't say like never before, but like in a power that I can't even say what it was. It freaked me completely out to the point of me being absolutely still out of complete fear, because my human was just like, what in the world is going on right now? What is all of this? And don't even act like we're here, because we're not. We don't want to be seen by all of this. And so I'm just, yes, you can see things going in and out of the walls. You see chambers opening. You see portals opening. You see things going into the portal, coming out of the portal. It was a whole hub that I was seeing of energies. And it was attached to the ringing in my ears. I can hear it. I could see whose tone was doing what. It was like a highway. It was literally like Grand Central Station. It was incredible, and I will never forget it. Ooh, take advantage. It's 11:11 again. Ready? Take a deep breath in. Deep, deep, deep. Challenge your human. Come on. Come on. Let it out. Ask for your spiritual guidance. Divine Source, please show me my spiritual guidance the way that I can receive it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Comment when you receive your spiritual guidance. What did you hear? What did you see? What did you receive? Sometimes you're going to receive guidance that you don't want to know. You ain't even going to want to hear it. but you got to. And you've got to receive it, and you've got to say thank you. Sometimes I just say, okay, thank you. That's it. Did you hear that knock on the wall? Did you hear that? Remember when we first started? Remember when I first opened the channel? There were all kinds of knocks on the wall, right? There were all kinds of everything. And it was happening left and right. We would hear fluttering of the wings, especially when Archangel Raziel was in the place. Whew. We would see images on the wall. You would see our ancestors moving the flowers behind me. I'm glad you all heard it. So when you hear from your ancestors or your spiritual squad or whomever you're working with at that moment, it'll be clear. And you can choose to ignore it, or you can choose to be grateful. Even in the fear, be grateful. Because that's helping your human get to the other side. Your journey here is short, but your journey is big. It's deep. You've got a profound path. And you came here. You were born. You fought. How many 500 trillion other sperm didn't make it to form you? You are a superstar. You were born an enigma. You were born a genius. You were born a fighter. You were born victorious already. You were born in the fight for your life. So when you experience spiritual awakening or spiritual attack, just know that you will get through it, okay? You will get through it. Yep. Your kids even ask you, Mom, who are you talking to? Talking to myself. Yep. I ask my daughter that specifically a lot. She talks to herself more than anybody. And this little superstar, she went from 8 followers to like 300 on TikTok, like overnight. And they're just so smart, you know? And I ask her, who you talking to? Me? Okay. Carry on, girl. And she be getting into it. That's good stuff. I am guided by my spiritual guides. The answers are inside you. That's what you heard. Way to go, Marie. Way to go, Marie. That's what you heard. Seti says, let me see, I think I'm missing some stuff. Okay, let me roll up. Let me roll back up. Seti, thank you so much. Okay, let me roll up because I think I'm missing messages. Deanna said, my little brother and my kid's father is currently in jail facing life. Little brother or kid's father, are they going to beat the case? This is the first time catching you live, and it only took 5 minutes for you to blow me away. Seti, thank you so much. Thank you so much. My kids are... LG, you heard you need to channel your higher self. Awesome. Awesome. Yes, yes. Seti says, I felt water running down me, and something told me that's my emotional body, as I'm deeply sensitive, and it burns me out. And a unicorn running that needs to turn around and stop resisting. If you don't accept your gifts, you know, ah, you are just so right there. Right there. Oh my gosh. Accept your spiritual gifts and start using those that are assigned to you already because they're waiting for you. What a blessing. Who is that? Viv? Thank you. Oh, you are so welcome. Absolutely. Yeah. No problem at all. Absolutely. I've got some of them over there. I'm gonna come back. We're gonna start doing readings, live readings. I may not get to everybody, but because I've just been so extremely busy, but we're gonna start doing it again. So, yes, I want everybody who needs to know. Do you need to be prepared for your 27 to 31 year block? Okay, or are you 54 to 61? Are you going into that time in your life? Those are pivots, and I want to help you get it right. So, this is the time that you're going to be tested significantly, and it's in every area of your life. You're going to feel confused. You're going to feel like you can't communicate it. You're going to feel like, oh my gosh, why are the obstacles hitting me so hard? But I'm telling you, go through it and learn the techniques to get through it because your blessing is on the other side. Lorna, oh, absolutely know how to get through the next one. And then you can go back. That's a great question. You can go back and look at the last Saturn return and look at the one before and take those puzzle pieces and max out your life. That's a great question. So for example, Lorna, 54 to 61, what is it that recycled back in your life from the time you were 27 to 31? Those joys, the skill set, the interests, the behavior from 27 to 31, then to 54 to 61, undoubtedly, three things happened. You saw where life repeated itself, and you saw where you stood still. Nothing changed, just time. You must change that. You also saw characters, personalities in different people change and stay the same. So where you've accepted the same toxic relationships or hung on to the same toxic connections that Spirit was telling you in the first Saturn return to let go of, the second Saturn return to let go of, that made life a little bit harder. And the third thing that undoubtedly you saw in both Saturn returns are the blessings that are still in your mind's eye that you have not manifested. Okay? Yes, ma'am. Lorna says, oh, I see, I understand now. Yes, yes, yes. From Isis in your dream. Norma, all right. Deanna, yes, you're about to be extremely tested. Be in that workshop. It's $39, and it's a 2 payments of $39, and you can bring a friend. If you refer a friend and they decide to come on in and do the workshop with you, with all of us, then you just pay $39. We'll cut out that next payment. And what else? That's the early bird special. So get in, get in, get in. You know how we are with our workshops now. We like to have good time. So definitely be ready to have good time, but be ready to pass those notes in class because, you know, while I'm talking, while I'm teaching, y'all should be passing notes, keeping each other, you know, informed. There's absolutely no readings at all. We're respecting each other's time and space, so no matter what messages might come to you, not saying anything because people didn't come there to be read. Okay, so we're not doing that. But here's the other thing that I've never done before. So this is a 2-day workshop. We're meeting at 11 a.m. and 11 p.m. Saturday and 11 a.m., 11 p.m. Sunday next week, August 6th and 7th, okay? And of 2022. So if you get in this workshop after our live, you're still going to see all the content. But what I'm doing that's different is those 2 times per day and making myself fully accessible to you, because when spiritual attack happens, you need to know how to deal with that moment. And how often do you have access to me in the middle of the night? So now you're going to have access via text when things go down and you need to know what to do at that moment. Sometimes you got to go heavy, 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 strong, really fast. And it's scary for a lot of people, but it works. And so I'm going to give you, whether you watch this on a recording or whether you're in our live workshop, I'm going to give you the questions and answers. I'm going to give you the whole text message, every text message that I get. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give you the answers. You're going to see everything. Because when it happens to you, you're going to need to know what to do and share it. You know, you've got to know how to get through your spiritual journey and come out on top, because spiritual attack is an attack for your life. Period. It is. And if it's an attack on your family, it's an attack on their lives and your whole family. And we ain't letting nothing tear up your family unit. All right? So, yes and yes. You heard that knock? Yes. Yep. All right. So, get on over there and register at spiritualguidanceacademy.com. I love y'all to life. And I will see you very, very soon. Hit that subscribe button. Share the video. Share spiritual guidance with friends. Bring them along. And let them know you found a family that really gets you. Love y'all. I'll see you next week. But I'll see you sooner. But I'll see you in our workshop.